Okay, sir, we will start. Okay. So, good evening to one and all. Today, we have joined here to witness the
Yeah, you can start. Yeah.
veterinary doctor, ethno-veterinary expert, Mr. Punyamurthy, the Padma Shri awardee on ethno-veterinary science, to get the knowledge from him. Basically, we are going to conduct the meeting for the pastoral people. And on this meeting, we are going to get knowledge about ethno-veterinary and the traditional practices and the link how it gets to connected with ecosystem, animals, and human health as well. So this is just a brief introduction about this session. And this session is going to be conducted by Tamil Nadu uh, People's Tamil Nadu Federation of People's Pastoral Sangam. So this association has been working for almost 2 to 3 years and for the pastoralist and pastoralism. And we have conducted various programs and this meeting is also part of that. And with that, I'm giving my session. I'm giving the control to Professor Jagadishan, to give some overview on this, and then we'll proceed with the uh, chief guest, Mr. Professor Punyamurthy's address. Over to you, sir. Professor Jagadishan, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Raghu. Good evening to everyone. And today, indeed, is one of the milestone with reference to Tamil Nadu Federation for Pastoral People Sangam, because it's a very local association, but it is hosting that international webinar, having the resource person who is internationally a very popular and then very authentic person, as well as one of our beloved, the grassroots rebel researcher, Dr. N. Punyamurthy, and then he is the professor of pharmacology and toxicology in Tamil Nadu Veterinary Animal Sciences University. Then after his retirement, actually I can't say it's a retirement. Actually, he's changed that organization, working organization only, because I know that after his retirement only he was very busiest person who is very passionate about that ethno-veterinary medicine, and then he is a student of ethno-veterinary medicine. I would say that. I'm telling you, he's a student because he's a person who is always learning from the people and then giving back to that people, and then one of the inspirational personality. And then I'm very much fortunate that I'm just keep on working and then getting his guidance. So in this way, the today's session will be about how that pastoralism and how that ethno-veterinary medicine is interlinked, and then how we should see that pastoralism from the perspective of ethno-veterinary medicine, or is how we can see the ethno-veterinary medicine from the perspective of pastoralism. It is vice versa. And so he will give some insight about that ethno-veterinary medicines that is very much of part of the pastoralism. So that means if you are supporting the pastoralism, definitely you are supporting the ethno-veterinary medicine, and if you are supporting the ethno-veterinary medicine, you are supporting one way or other way the pastoralism. So in that way, we are all eager to learn from that horse's mouth. That is Dr. Punyamurthy sir, and then he was recently awarded the Padma Shri Award from the government of India, and this award is for common people. It is maybe something different, but what that scientific community wise, this is a very big recognition from the government of India about that ethno medicine. So we are all happy, we are all motivated we are all pumped up to learn his lecture.
Doctor, you
And
hear my voice?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
But for me, it's feeble, but doesn't matter. Since I am going to speak, if you hear me properly, let me just.
Yes, it's audible and very clear, sir.
Shall I start?
Yes, sir. You can start, sir. I'm welcoming Dr.
So
Punim
thank
sir and
you,
other
Dr. Jagdishan, who has been anchoring this concept for quite a long time. Once pastoralists have been running programs for quite some time, and they have been active. Sri Lanchanian and his team of youngsters, and there are also so many stalwarts, starting from Seva Vivekanandan and so many others, and who are also part of this tradition and legacy, especially in this country, associated with so many activities. Been doing a lot to get the attention of the public, policymakers, and the general population as a whole. It's been a task for them, despite their omnipresence in the public, on the roadside, in the villages. So they are all sort of marginalized, the victim of the past developments in the name of infrastructure development. So that is something we have to reckon with. So I have my own bumpings into such great herders, and my knowledge is basically from this uh, group. I'm talking about centuries back, who have collected this knowledge, and alone and also in association with others working in the human side. This is a fountain of that knowledge. So there is no denying of that fact. And only thing, it's being marginalized because that's what that was not put into the mainstream education. So once we realize that this knowledge has got the potential to be tested first, in the sense, not exactly the way generally the biomedicine is tested, but in real-time situation in target species, and filling the gaps of this so-called biomedicine is offering to livestock healthcare. And always these herders are out of sight, out of mind. So that is one thing we have to be conscious about. So I'm just trying to go through some of the concepts are very ancient, got a continuum in its value and application, and it needs to be taken care of. Documentation has been going on, but to put them into the pedestal of mainstream education, and we are not talking about replacing one system with the other. Keeping this system going on is very essential for the livelihood, germplasm conservation, and then conservation of so many natural resources associated with the habit of pastoralism and rangeland communities across the world. So the numbers are really very high. The area covered is also quite a extant area, despite civilization infrastructure development going on in a fast pace. So nobody can deny the role of pastoralism as an important driver in the face of climate change and sort of resource crunch in different areas, like water resources and biodiversity conservation in terms of grasslands and monoculture. These are all some of the threats we have been facing. And the word micro and macro environmental things are all very much part of this pastoralism. And only thing, it's time that in this year of international year of rangelands and pastoralists, accepted by the international agencies and being promoted at different, has got a very important role to gain as much as attention possible, because everything is a fact, and only thing, it has got to get into the minds of persons connected with this activity and to be in close proximity of the policymakers, because it is for the entire global community, not for any individual group in the name of breed or community. It is a globally important activity as such, pastoralism. And there are going to be more and more pressures on the resources and issues connected with that. We have to defy all these things and still go through our clear ideas that how important they are. That is the idea, to have as many programs as possible to bring in as many people as possible into this fold. So the word One Health, the word medicinal agroecology, the word antimicrobial resistance, and then environmental pollutions. There are so many endocrine disruptors, chemicals in the environment. You cannot name them. It is in thousands. And I am personally witnessing so many disruption in the reproductive capacity of animals reared both in-house in the barns, as well also semi-intensive. And naturally, these pastoralist community will also face the problems of fertility and other things very easily seen in the context of these environmentally dangerous pollutants. So it is going to be a problem of all, and this community will face on the first line. So they have to see that this particular concept is being taken up. So I will just throw some light from my perspective as a veterinary pharmacologist, from the clinical perspective, tackling this issue of AMR as one of the important aspects of this whole concept. Next slide, please. So the interconnectivity of different components of the environment. Doctor, next slide. Is it moving? Next slide. Yeah. So this is a very clear picture which shows how all are interconnected, whether it is in terms of energy flow, in terms of the microbiome from the soil to different aspects of the environmental so-called biosphere. So this is something very important. Everybody talks about it, at least they know about it in a cursory sense, but what we do about it, because we knowing the interconnected nature of these things, what we are doing, and where the pastoralists are placed in this scheme of things. So that is what one has got to realize and work towards it. Next slide, please. So this was one of the persons, if I remember correct, his name Bembayan. I met in 2001, almost 25 years back, and he was already in that herding for 45 years at that time, since his childhood days. On the right, you can see the Ankole cows from Uganda. So across in Uganda and Ethiopia, I could see herds of camels, donkeys, and different types of cattle. So this is something very important to know, that it is not confined to any, it's a transboundary and global phenomena we have to keep in mind. Next slide, please. So some of these slides are taken by me during certain outings in the field. So such a beautiful calf where the animals are herded, penned the previous night. We were there in the early morning. Next slide, please. You can just go through some of the photos just for visual appreciation of his herders. Next, please. Next, please. Same. See, lovely calves. So I also just bring forth another group in Maharashtra, how these people are using their indigenous knowledge to conserve various resources, saving them from over exploitation. I also remember strata in that group in some parts of Maharashtra. So people who are living up in the hills, they perform certain activities and they actually hunt small animals and eat. And then in the middle strata, people are using some other strategy so that they don't destroy the habitat of the earlier in top strata people, the sort of pyramid like. The persons who are in the valley and to some extent into the basement of the terrains in the foothills of the forest, they are pure vegetarians. They take only dairy products. They tend animals. They graze in the forest. So, based on their food habits, based on their requirements, they have made some self constraints. The wisdom obtained over centuries. How to conserve? They know they have to transfer this legacy of resources to their next generation. They are very conscious about it. Whereas people at large, the so-called civilized world, they don't bother that we have to give this fertile land to the next generation, carefully keeping their fertility with reference to the microbiome and intact to the next generation. Otherwise, we'll be depleting all these things and the barren soil is of no use to the next generation. We may make wealth from other sources, but real wealth lies in the soil. So that is where the pastoralists and their herds. So it's a very important thing to realize from that perspective. So herd is more a cultural thing than a mere genetic entity. So we support the community and their aspects must be taken care of so that they maintain the germplasm and they carry on this activity as much as possible. And we give top priority to this. We have to give top priority. We have to influence the policymakers and those people who are deciding about the future of the fertility of the soil. It is not about one community of people or one type of animal species or breeds. So it is something more than that. Next slide, please. So now we talk about food as a veterinarian. We talk about producing food responsibly, free from what so-called chemical residues, and not only meat, milk and eggs, but also the dung and urine which goes to the soil. So in that respect, veterinarians make an important pillar in the scheme of things which leads to one health. Next slide, please. So we can quickly go one after the other slide. Dr. AMR, everybody knows about it. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. Next. So in agriculture, horticulture, floriculture, in orchards, in aquaculture, soil, everywhere we are using so many chemicals. That's why I told you hundreds of varieties of chemicals are used on a daily basis. So this bioaccumulation and biomagnification over a period, and many people do not even stop for a moment to understand the dangers we are posting to the environmental pollution, and continuously it's been going on for decades together. We have to put a full stop and we have to come back. Next slide, please. So government is making all efforts to talk about organic farming. So organic farming is very much part of pastoralism. So alienating pastoralism from the organic farming of the mainstream agriculture has got very little meaning in that. So there must be a way to combine this and make some way to bring in unison. This concept should go hand in hand, parallel to the organic movement, agriculture movement of the country. Pastoralism should not be isolated. So it should join hands with them. So this is the idea. So more and more farmers are joining the thing. Government is also showing lot of inclination. Almost all the state governments have got an organic farming policy. So what is the role of pastoralists in this? So we have to tell them, yeah, this has got to be included. Next slide. So this is to show that government is having so many training and capacity building on organic farming, natural farming. So there is a gap. So one is livestock should be treated carefully, not to have the residues in the dung and urine. And also pastoralists must be taken alongside. Next slide, please. This is what I told you about medicinal agroecology. Agroecology is one thing where doing agriculture destroys most of the ecological balance. So they want to use the word agroecology. And with so much of herbicides, weedicides, we lose so many medicinal plants. So say we have to be more conscious about not only the food produce or the food plants or food crops, but also the medicinal plants which are already in existence across the country. Wherever we go, it's for a global scenario also. That medicinal agroecology, medicine and food, they have to come from a very clean and healthy soil. So that is where I say this pastoralism is an important link. It's an important link in the scheme of things. So everybody can easily see that. When you talk about sustainable food systems, then naturally pastoralists are forming an important part of that scheme of things. Next slide, please. So this is what I told Government of India, Tamil Nadu state. You go to any state government, they have got their own policy. Everywhere, wherever I go to other states, I put their policy, government policy. You can see them very nicely written. Everywhere they talk about agroecology, One Health, and biodiversity conservation. But how to carry out? So the pastoralists are forming an important part of that to go into such move. If you want to proceed, so pastoralists form an important link in that. Next slide, please. So this is another way to tell people that we are losing insects by minute, by seconds. If you are not going to take care right now using so many chemicals in the environment, I'm not only talking about agriculture and allied food production, but also in the day-to-day household chores. We are using so many chemicals, everything comes into the environment. So we are killing butterflies, insects. So please see that. We want to see the butterfly in live situation and also show our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, for the generations to come, they have to see the butterflies flying in the skies. We need them for pollination. Without them, there is no crop diversity. So everything interlinked. Next. So this is what Wagenagen has told clearly to all the departments, that all the departments should come together for one concept called nature positive food production systems. By 2030, they want to see revival of the biodiversity to some extent and grow further so that we retain biodiversity. And all the international organizations are talking about joint action plan on One Health with the AMR of the focus. AMR is an important thing. We have to conserve antibiotics for future use. So that is only one among them. But there are so many other things. We have to come together, and pastoralists play an important role in maintaining soil health. So they are all interconnected. Next slide, please. So I'm just taking this opportunity, just quickly go through how a traditional knowledge from the pastoral community of using aloe vera, turmeric and chuna, which is very much part of the knowledge across the country. These materials in one farm or other, in combination with another things as part of their daily chores for medicinal and food requirements. But how this knowledge could be taken to the highest pedestal of scientific scrutiny and could be scaled up into lakhs and lakhs of animals being tested and used on a regular basis, and becoming part of the mainstream treatment in the animal health care, not both in three aspects: preventive, curative and reparative. So that is what I'm going to quickly show. Dr. Jagdishan, you can just about 5 seconds, you can go through different slides. I can just have a look at it and people can appreciate how we have gone through this. Our team from Tanuvas, TDU, Seva was very much part of it. Andhra was there, CIKS was there, MSRF was there, and then BAIF is there, and then Bees is there, Gopal's organization is there, and there are so many other small organizations have been part of this and doing a great job in making this happen. NDDB has helped us to scale up because it's the government of India face. And once they saw the positivity of this approach, and they have spared no effort to take it further. Next slide, please, doctor. So this is about mastitis. This is a micro environment. You can see that round with microbes. When you are going to bring about drug pressure into that environment, they are going to cause us so much of problem. And you see here again, it is not just the udder of the animal. It can affect other animals. It will affect through food, all the materials on the food basket, and then it will affect the human beings. It will come back to the water bodies. Again, it will come back to the soil. So this you can see when compared with the earlier figure I have shown. Every component of our misuse of chemicals, improper understanding of the connectivity of these things is going to be a serious problem. I'm taking one example how mastitis, because around 85% of the antimicrobial compounds are used against only one disease in intensive dairy farming. That is why we make a very frequent reference to mastitis. Next slide, please. So there are so many things which are very relevant to veterinarian, because even without the involvement of microbes, people are using indiscriminately antibiotics, not necessarily veterinarians. Many others who are trying to do some husbandry activities are also misusing antibiotics. So this is a very sad state of affairs, and we have to be very careful about it. So antibiotic stewardship is the prime concern now. They should restrain from using unnecessary antibiotics. Next slide, please. So we will go through a series of next slide, please. Yes. Yeah, this is again to tell that how symbiosis in a udder environment becomes dysbiosis by using unnecessary chemicals. This is another indication. You cannot simply send anything into the uterine or udder environment. You should not disturb the environment. So this is a micro environment within the animal, which has got a direct reflection on the macro environment of the soil, plants, and everything. It's an interconnectedness. Next slide, please. So people are increasingly realizing why an alternative approach such as ethno-veterinary medicine is important at this stage. So it can mitigate AMR, it can prevent residues getting into the milk, and it's a clinically useful and cost-effective solution from the traditional knowledge base. That is what very important here. And it's very scientifically sound idea. How we have arrived at a scientific basis of this, and how we say it is economically viable, how it is globally scalable is what we are going to see in the forthcoming slides. Quickly, we can go through, Dr. Jagdishan. Yeah. So these are all mostly figures. People can easily understand what I am trying to say. Next slide, please. So accessibility, affordability, and predictable outcome. We get back all the milk. That is the beauty of this. With the other approaches, you don't get even 60% of the milk most of the time. There's a huge loss. There's a huge gap between the outcome and the intention. So here it is very, very easy to, people can understand that we get back almost all the milk. So it is 2016 May. We are in the 10th year of taking this to National Dairy Development Board, which has been very keen on this positive aspect of this knowledge system to be disseminated widely, both horizontally and vertically across the society within the country. And we are also working with TDU in Ethiopia, Netherlands, and Uganda. Next slide, please. So this is very simple, because if you don't treat properly udder pox, it will lead to mastitis. So you lose the animal for want of few things like, cumins, garlic, turmeric, either in castor oil or butter. You can treat this. So we have standardized all these things. SOP is very clear. It's all in the public domain in the dairy knowledge portal of NDDB in 12 languages across India. So in English, Hindi, and Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada, you name it, it is there. So it is in the public domain. That is the beauty of this knowledge system. It is available for every one of us. Next slide, please. So this is already treated animal for 7 days. On the 7th day, 6th or 7th day, it was brought for EVM treatment. And they get back all the milk the buffalo was earlier giving. This is the beauty. Even after a lapse of few days, you can recover the animal's productive capacity. That is the beauty of this ethno-veterinary medicine, which is the indigenous technical knowledge on health. Next slide, please. So we are working across India. We can quickly go one after the other, Dr. Jagdishan. Yeah. Next slide, please. So these are all the photos. You can go one after the other where field training was taking place. Next. Of course, NDDB is working with milk unions, and we are working with other governments, provincial or state governments. Next slide, please. So this is the data. When we have a empirical data, individual data, they almost fall. 84 means is 85. There's 81 means is 83. So we have a corroborative evidence, whether we going as a collective data collection or individually followed, we have the same result. That is the clinical effectiveness of the system. Next slide, please. Aloe vera, turmeric, and calcium oxide, all the three materials. Next. So the data you can see now, it is 12.37 lakhs. This was in June last, and this month we have got from 8 to 10,000 cases in the year 17-18. In 24-25, we have got 12.3 lakh animal data, more than a million data for so many other conditions. Next slide, please. Data capture is done by digital mode. You cannot tamper with that. Next. So next, doctor, these are all some of the data you can go through one after the other. People can just have a look at it, how things are moving. Next, please. Next. So this is when recording done by the veterinarians. So you get a very higher percentage because of the proper following of the SOP of the knowledge system. So that is so perfect. Next slide, please. The antibiotic purchased by the companies. It's a corroborative evidence that when we are using EVM, there is no need for so much of antibiotics. Next slide, please. So we are collecting data, and NDDB is testing it in the state of the laboratory to have phenotype and genotype of the organisms. So that will serve as a reference for the future generations to follow it up, and EVM will get entrenched firmly in the mainstream because of this evidence. Next slide, please. So these are all again AGM and organisms involved in clinical and subclinical mastitis, real-time data from the field across the country. Next slide, please. So this phenotypic AST profile. Next slide, please. Quickly we can go through, because we are telling that they've been diligently taking this data to tell the world that it is effective, not just hearsay or just for the love of traditional knowledge. The same thing, different agents and their AST profile. Next, you can go through one after the other within 2-3 seconds, doctor. Yeah, these are all different languages, and LSD as an emerging disease also we have countered with the same knowledge system. Next slide, please. So many people think AMR is slightly hyped concept. No, it is a very much a reality, and we have continuous and disturbing data from the field. AMR is a real problem. Next slide, please. Next, same thing in different. So we have used third-party assessment of this knowledge being practiced in the field by the Center for Assignment. Next slide, please. They have published their staff. They have gone through the field and collected data. So this is the article published in December 2022. Easy to switch, mainstream the alternative So this is the data given by the Down to Earth team. A wonderful work they have done to convince themselves. So it is going to the Global South recommendations. We may expect ethno-veterinary medicine as part of the Global South recommendations happening in May 2026 by the international agencies. Next slide, please. The data collected by them. Third party assessment. Next slide, please. Again, the same data, I am just giving it. Next slide, we have spoken about it. The robust third party assessment. Next slide, please. Next slide. So it's a impact in the veterinary practice. It influences the policy on AMR, farmers' livelihood because of the affordable cost and clinical efficacy. So it is also meeting the molecular validation and supports the research initiatives for a proof. Next slide, please. So the potential of EVM is very clearly Government of India, Department of Animal Husbandry, Dairying and Fisheries, they released strategic veterinary, standard veterinary treatment guidelines last year, and then next they released strategic document in mastitis. Next slide, please. So this was released September 2025 on mastitis. We have got 4 pages of ethno-veterinary medicine added to this. So this is also an official document. Common service centers of Government of India, Department of Animal Husbandry, they are regularly conducting every month in some parts of the country. Apart from regular animal husbandry other activities, ethno-veterinary medicine is being disseminated to the farmers to reduce the reliance on chemicals in livestock production. Next slide, please. So international agencies have come forward to consider this knowledge as an alternative approach to AMR mitigation. Next slide, please. So this is the slide. They say April 25, there was a meeting in Anand. Next slide, please. So official documents from different agencies. So we did a molecular analysis how this aloe vera turmeric chunam is working. Next slide, please. This is published in the microbial pathogenesis of the Elsevier group. Next slide, please. So this is the data where exactly these molecules act to bring about the clinical success. So it's a sort of reverse pharmacology we are doing. We confirm with the data from the field, from the in vitro studies, and also in the in vivo animal models. Next slide, please. Next, same thing. Next. So next you can go. These are all we have been talking. And so ethno-veterinary medicine for mastitis is rooted in the traditional knowledge, and the livestock becomes the center of natural organic farming. So when you talk about livestock which is in confinement in the suburban and rural areas, in the villages, pastoralists also play an important role. So our aim is to put pastoralists and the important and valuable germplasm they hold should also form part of this organic farming. When we say livestock centric, they very much include the pastoralists in this. This is what we have to tell the world, that pastoralists play an important role. When we say organic and natural farming is livestock centric, pastoralists are part of it. That is the message I'm trying to tell. The knowledge is very good, and they are all already following many of these traditional knowledge systems. And we have got many standardized protocols which can be taken up by pastoralists, making it 100% natural. Next slide, please. So we tell the world that nature positive food production and following medicinal agroecologic principles is very important, not only for us, for the generations to come. So ethno-veterinary medicine, which is a traditional knowledge from the pastoralist community, which has come for generations together, are worthy of pursuit, and it is a significant step forwards towards One Health. So thank you for listening, and so we can tell the whole world that the pastoralists and their knowledge has proven without any doubt that it is a very important knowledge which can very much go into the mainstream livestock healthcare as a first step towards One Health. So if you want to consider about human health, plant health, soil health, this is the first step. So pastoralists are part of this scheme of things. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your insightful interaction. And then we all know that the pastoralism and the rangeland, which is the reservoir of that herbs and other medicinally important plants. By conserving that rangelands, we also ensure that practice of ethno-veterinary medicine. So thereby, the pastoralist actually the mobile knowledge hub with reference to our world traditional practices and all. So in that way, ethno-veterinary medicine is an integral part of the pastoralism. So now that this panelists, this space for discussion. So if you, any of the participants who is having any doubt, please you raise your questions so that our expert can give his reply. Sir, Dr. Bakshirajan, sir.
Yes, Vanakkam, sir. Bakshirajan.
Yes, sir. Please, you ask any questions, sir.
No question, just to congratulate Professor Punyamurthy, sir.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Okay.
I don't have a question, sir.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Hello, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Good evening,
it's
sir.
very nice presentation, sir, and
Yeah,
thought provoking. Actually, I want to know, sir. Nowadays, most of the livestock used in the dairy farm are the crossbred.
Sir.
So they can sustain on this type of feed mechanism. First thing, sir, because I think there are the production pressure and they need supplementary feed from outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Second question is, sir, being a field worker, people mostly, farmers mostly think and their animals should be treated as shorter period. So in that condition, is it good to use that one, the ethno medicine, like that, because it takes a lot of time compared to our nowadays this medicines. So your view on that, sir?
Sir, if I am not mistaken, sir, this certain first question, of course, we generally, I personally feel it's dairying is such a major economic activity, keeping the livelihoods of so many millions of farmers. We don't question the need for them to keep hybrid or crossbred animals for their livelihood, and it is there, and we try to keep these two streams parallel without spoiling each other. So that is one thing we have to keep a very clear track on our thought process. That is one thing. And whatever the feed required, all those things, if they are free from chemicals, which will, as I told you, from the field, agriculture produce and the byproducts, everything we have to cover before we talk about natural farming. So that is the whole scheme of things we have discussed there. I think that is possible. We can keep two streams together. The second point is a myth, sir, actually. We have got so many preparations. You can imagine about 34 conditions are validated by NDDB and promoted across the country. And all the data I have got from high yielding cows. If you don't get the results quickly, this would not have stayed for 10 years in that, because we are working from 2016. So we are in the 10th year of this work across the country. Wherever we are working, there is no question of a reasonable time lapse, nothing more or less. So if not more, they are equally effective. So there is no question about it. Otherwise, you would have never crossed this stage of acceptance. No issue. In fact, we have got many emergency medicines like salt, pepper, and betel leaves. They will work, and no other medicine can work. Yeah, in fact, some life-saving combinations are there, which is very much available in their home state.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And then Mr. Sharias is also raising his hand. Please, sir, go ahead.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Sir, good evening. Yeah, please.
I'm Dr. Shariaz, a veterinarian from Jammu and Kashmir.
Sir, please, sir.
We are having most of the population here as a tribal population, and they do practice this patronism.
Great.
Sir, basically what problem we are facing here that during the 6 months of their transit to the highland pasture, they don't have access to these medicines and veterinary aid.
Okay.
Moreover, the government policies like integrated dairy development scheme and all other value added initiatives of central government, they are not getting the benefits of those initiatives. For example, if we are talking about integrated dairy development scheme, in that case, we are focusing our crossbred and purebred like HF, Jersey, even Sahiwal. So they are very heavy breeds. They are not in a position to go through that transition. That nomadic problem.
Yeah, that's it. There are some policy issues connected to your observations, sir. But somehow we have to draw a line wherever people who can afford. But generally, many dairy economies are very clearly stating. I have talked to dairy nutritionists and economics from different countries also. If we don't have that kind of nutrition possibility, don't have high yielders. So our focus is to have optimal inputs, optimal production. So that is the idea. So I think we can have a meeting for that also, to see that we keep our native breeds, and so-called low milk yield is not a constraint, it is a strength. Because India is to become a hub of natural farming. We need lot of inputs. Probably dung and urine, even NDDB has got a big scheme with Suzuki Japan on biogas production, slurry production. You can imagine, when such an organization, when they are dealing with a high value dairy value chain, why they should worry about it? That's a future, sir. So there is no problem, and we have to think about any animal which is kept by us is of value. There is no worry about it. And about some of the products, maybe you can send me message. My number is there, and I ask Dr. Jagdish, and just type it in the chat box, and anybody you can. This is the WhatsApp number. We can discuss more about it. I got another meeting, so one or two questions I will answer. Doctors are waiting outside.
Can I go with another supplementary question, if
please, sir? Please, sir. Please, sir.
Sir, actually, my friend Tariq Aziz, who has just added me in this group,
okay,
he might be well aware that in our district, particularly in Jammu and Kashmir, we were having some special products right from the ancient time.
Okay.
So can we go for that also? So I think that must be included in government policies as well.
You mean special products in the sense it's food products or medicinal products, sir?
Sir, dairy byproducts.
Sir, actually, you are talking from dairy animals or other non-bovines like sheep, goat, or
dairy animals like buffalo, cattle.
Okay, sir. Sir, I think you can even go in for GIS and other trading, geo-specific procedures are there, and if it is unique, and definitely it can be taken up, and there are provisions for it. And I think some of the participants in this group can guide them. There are opportunities for that, and government is looking for such things. There are so many things coming in different conferences. I am hearing people telling this area, this particular product is unique, and we have got a GIS trading speciality for that, exclusive rights. So that's possible, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Jagadishan,
Yes,
is
sir.
there
Yes,
any?
if there is no question, and also I have put sir number in that chat box. Please,
Please.
note it down, and then you can directly contact the sir, and
So
sir will get back to you
so
nicely, sir.
I thank Dr. Jagdishan, Sri Ilanjanian and others for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts. And this is a continuous process. It's not a one-time affair. And the whole year we'll also have more specific programs related to the traditional knowledge base. Maybe myself and Dr. Jagdishan will work out, and we will present what is have a maybe one-day conference. People, persons from different parts of the country or parts of the world can talk for about 5 minutes about the knowledge system which is used effectively there. So that will bring more confidence into the minds of the pastoralists that they also being part of this global movement, that their knowledge is worthwhile go into the mainstream. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And then since that Tamil Nadu Federation for Pastoral People Sangam's first webinar, so we are very extremely happy that you are the chief speaker, and then so you will continue the same such a program.
Please
also.
go on.
Thank
Please
you,
excuse me for this, and I will.
yes, sir, please, sir.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And also, I thank all the participants who participated in this program. And then you can expect a lot of more and then improved program in future also. And then thank you so much for your valuable time and the interaction. Thank you, one and all. And thank you for Raghu and the other team who is supporting that Zoom platform here. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And also, I take this opportunity for to thank that Tamil Nadu Federation for People's Pastoral People Sangam President, my dear friend Rajiv, as well as his team, and then for his painstaking effort to organize not only this program. There are many programs they are organizing in the state, and they're working at the grassroots level, and it is always very much appreciable one. And then I'm also happy that I'm also a part of it. Thank you, Raju, and then your team. Thank you so much.